Welcome, students. One of the new videos I wanted to make for you today just had to do with getting started with utilizing the resources that Bellevue University itself affords you in terms of conducting your research in the master's program. I think that often just knowing where to begin, how to find correct sources, how to figure out which sources are good, which ones are maybe not so good, can be a really daunting task for a lot of students, especially if they don't have an extensive background in doing high-level original scholarly research. Thankfully, at Bellevue University, I have been really impressed, and I speak to this from my own work, not just as a professor looking over the work of my students, but the work I conduct in my own research agenda has been greatly benefited by the resources that are available to all of us as part of the Bellevue University community. And I think it's quite possible that many students, because quite frankly I find many faculty not even aware of this information, but many students might not be aware of the resources that we have at our fingertips. And I think you should be exclusively, quite frankly, almost exclusively utilizing these tools when it comes to gathering sources, finding original resources, and beginning your preliminary research at least for your term-long master's degree course projects. First, let's just go to the main Bellevue University web page. So you take it, move over to where you see the login up in the upper right hand corner, click on that login, and now if you'll scroll down you'll see the library databases site. From the library web page you will be prompted to log in with your campus username and password. Click on that link. It brings you to this page that talks about the Freeman Logier Library. Now let's just simply say we have anything random. When you first begin your project, many of you have an idea, well, I know the general from the master topic list, the general idea of what I want to do research on. I know what I want to pursue, but where do I find that niche, Professor Croston? How do I find that specified narrow angle within the general category? I don't know. The hard, honest truth of that is that you begin with preliminary research. So let's just take something random. Let's say China in Africa. That's what we're going to do. We're interested in China and Africa. Notice it's pretty basic. It's pretty basic. China and Africa, what? Culturally, politically, economically? We haven't defined that. So you can be quite general when it comes to what you're starting out with. So you don't let that make you hesitate. Don't let that make you feel confused. The next move I want you to do when you see all this come up, let's move over to content type. This is for refining. You move down and hit only journal article. Because as you can see in the list, newspaper articles over 680,000. Journal articles over 125,000. Books and ebooks over 53,000. Magazine articles over 37,000. This is any. So let's weed this out. The safest bet for you is to always click on journal article. That removes all of the other ones, so you will now not be getting the newspaper articles, the books, the ebooks, the magazine articles. Purely the journal articles. As you can see, you have 125,000 to weed through. You obviously don't need that, but that's where we want to start. Then you just simply start looking down this list. Alright, and they give you, thankfully, just this little tiny bit. In the journal Survival, China's growing presence in Africa introduces a new dynamic in the continent's relations with the outside world. It has always look for this little part right here where it says full text online. Click on the full text online. This is where it will give you the login information where you have to log in once more using your Bellevue University password. There's no problem with that. Do that, and there it is. Over here in the left side, sometimes this is in different places, sometimes it's in the upper right, sometimes it's at the bottom of the abstract, but more often than not you'll find it in this case right over here. Click on PDF full text. It will come up. Loading. It's now loaded. Down here on this lower right corner where you have these shadow boxes, you'll click on that disk. The disk allows you then to simply say, well, I want to put that, let's just say for now I want to put it on my desktop, and I will call it China in Africa Survival, so you know what the journal name is, and maybe you're also interested in, let's just say the name is Jones, That's the name of the author. You save it. It is now, and if you go down, you'll realize that here it is on your desktop, fully visible for you to use. Now to go back, that tab is there. You've saved it. You can close it out now. Let's move down. Let's find something else. Let's see. We're looking. China and Africa, a relationship in transition, from the European Journal of Development Research. Sounds like a perfect example of what we'd want to do in the ISIS Master's Program. So again, we click on the full text online. Here it comes. Excellent. Now in this case, as I told you, this case is presenting it to you informationally a little bit different. As you see up at this time, it's over on the right-hand side, full text PDF. You click on that, and now it comes up in this kind of window. Again, you will see these shadow boxes that allow you to do that. And you'll see that this is by Alusanya. Click on the disk. Comes back up on my desktop. I'll say China in Africa, a relationship in transition. I might, for instance, want to say it's at the EGDR, the European Journal of Development Research, and it is by Alusanya. I like doing these really long titles because when they're in my folder of articles for the research of my original scholarship, it just makes it easier for me to see. Now you decide whether you want to list it by the subject matter first. Maybe you want to list it by the title of the official article first. Maybe you want it listed by which journal is it first. Or maybe you just want it alphabetically, automatically organizing itself by the author's last name. It doesn't really matter. It's whatever you find best for you. Alright, again, so now I have a second. And you just simply continue doing this. You will be shocked that within the course of an hour or two, China and Africa, for example, here we go again, challenging U.S. global hegemony in the famous journal Third World Quarterly. Click on the full text online. Here it comes. This time it's over on the left-hand side. We click on it. It will come up in our block. We click on the little diskette in the gray shadow boxes. Now we have, again, China and Africa challenging U.S. hegemony by, and we want to sit there and say Third World Quarterly by Campbell. So I have all my information right there on the document itself. And when you go back, we see there are your PDFs. China and Africa, Survival Jones. China and Africa, Relationship in Transition, EJDR, Alusanya. China and Africa, Challenging U.S. Hegemony, Third World Quarterly, Campbell. It is fantastic. You will be shocked at not only how many sources you can find in the Bellevue University library databases, but you will be shocked at the quality of the resources. It won't be Fox News, it won't be MSNBC, it won't be Yahoo News, it won't be Wikipedia. You will be getting sources directly because you mentioned before you clicked on the content type being only journal articles, and you have over 125,000 to weed through. Never again will you have a problem with finding sources that are of high quality, of clear scholarly value, and these sources will give you a better sense of where the literature is, which is in and of itself the conflict resolution phase, as you recall, but it will give you a better sense of where are there missing gaps in the literature. How do I find those missing gaps? And that will be what my niche is. When I try to figure out how do I go from the general down to the specific, how do I go from the broad down to the narrow, the question is, what can I do that will be an original contribution? What can I do that will make my mark in the body of literature? This tool at Bellevue University is incredibly helpful. I hope you will all use it, and I will expect to see very high quality resources coming in from the Bellevue University Library Database website. That's really all for now. I hope you enjoy this opportunity. I really expect to see improved bibliographies in all of our research. And again, this ability to work with full text online directly from your library, just a fantastic resource. I hope you truly, truly enjoy it and realize how much better it is than just doing a random Google web search. Have a great day.